Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is putting it all together and using that slope-intercept method to graph things and graph lines. And this will become really useful if you're going on to Math 56. You'll use this a lot. Okay, so what you're going to do is first put the equation into slope-intercept form, just like we were practicing in the last section. Then from that, you'll be able to figure out your slope and y-intercept. And then on your graph, start by plotting the y-intercept. Once you have that first point, you can use your slope, rise over run, to calculate another point or two on the line, and then you can draw the line. So in this example, first of all, they're solving for y. So they start by adding 2x to both sides, then they divide by 3, and we get this equation here. So based on that equation, we know the slope is 2/3 and the y-intercept is 2. So to graph this thing, first you're going to put in the y-intercept. So our y-intercept, our graph intersects the y-axis at 2. And then from there, we know the rise over run is 2/3. So we could say, okay, well, that's 2 units up and 3 units to the right, giving us a second point here. And now you can connect those points to draw your line. Conversely, remember 2/3 is the same thing as -2/-3. So another thing I could do is I could say, okay, well, from this y-intercept, I have a rise of -2, so I'm going down 2, and then a run of -3 means I'm going to the left 3, and so I end up at this point over here. And sometimes that can be a really helpful trick if you're kind of running out of room on the right-hand side of your graph. You can always do the opposite, so do the negatives as well. Okay, here's one more example. So they've asked to graph a line. So first of all, you're going to put it in slope-intercept form. And so they've subtracted x from both sides and then divided by 4 to end up with this equation here in slope-intercept form. Based on that equation, then, we know that the slope is -1/4 and the y-intercept is -2. So we put in our y-intercept, so it intersects the y-axis at -2. And then we have a rise over run of -1/4. Now, I like to assign that negative to either the top or bottom. So if you assign it to the top, then we're saying it's a rise of -1. So we're going down 1. And a run of +4. So we're going to the right 4. And that would put you at this point here. Now you have your points and you can draw your line. Or if you think of it as 1/-4, that means a rise of +1. So we're going up 1. And then a run of -4 is 4 over to the left. So we end up over here. And once again, you have your points and can draw your line.